The Armored Core series has always been about larger-than-life, explosive mech battles. This means covert ops are usually not a primary concern in these games. However, the gameplay preview sprinkled in some elements of stealth that led me to ask the question, will stealth actually be relevant in Armored Core 6? Before we get into the video, I wanted to quickly mention that I'm giving away a free copy of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, so stay until the end of the video to learn more details on the giveaway. So, will stealth be relevant? As I said, traditionally it's not been an important aspect of Armored Core, at least not as a defining feature. There have been some stealth elements in the past where catching the attention of some patrolling enemies would sound an alarm that causes enemies to kind of be alert and look towards your general direction, but that was kind of the extent of it. But with the lead developer from Sekiro, Masaru Yamamura, also acting as the lead designer for Armored Core 6, plus there also being hints of enemies being unaware of your presence, I think stealth will be a little bit more relevant in Armored Core 6 than previous entries. I still don't think it's going to be an important focus on the game, but rather there will be elements to allow players to choose their own path on how they want to handle a mission, since map scaling is going to be much larger in Armored Core 6. So how would stealth even work in an Armored Core game? I'm not entirely sure if the system is going to be fully fleshed out, but here is a couple things that I can tell from the gameplay trailer, along with some of my own desires sprinkled in. First, we know enemies will not always be aware of your presence. This means you will be presented with options to either leave the enemies be and sneak around, or you could engage them and have the upper hand by getting a powerful attack off that's guaranteed to land. And that's about the extent that we know for now. But what happens if there are something like radar jammers in the game? Would they act as some sort of smoke screen where you are temporarily invisible to enemies while the jammer is active? What happens if we break line of sight after enemies have been alerted? Are they going to chase us around buildings, or are they just going to kind of linger around the area where they were encountered? If it's the latter, will they eventually become unaware again? Those are just a few of my questions, and what I really hope happens is we have radar jammers as an extension which deploys a destructible drone or something like that. And while this drone is active, enemies will have a harder time seeing mechs at a distance, and the idea here would be to allow you to move a little bit more freely and sneak up on enemies, maybe get a melee attack in, or just reposition and stuff like that. I understand that radar wouldn't exactly impact your ability to visually confirm targets, but I think it would be a decent way to introduce stealth builds into the game. So what would the actual benefits be from being stealthy in a game like Armored Core? Well, from what I said earlier, you would be giving players an option to choose how they want to divide and conquer enemy groups. Maybe there's one group of enemies that has artillery support, so before you actually engage those enemies, you can sneak around and destroy the energy cannons to make the fight easier. Or instead of fighting at all, maybe you give the players the option to just completely skip a certain pack of enemies, therefore allowing you to save on some ammunition costs or repair costs at the end of the mission. But I think the biggest benefit to stealth would be the guaranteed hit on unaware enemies. If you're using a bazooka or sniper rifle, you would have a much higher chance of landing the first attack on an enemy who is unaware, and because these weapons are pretty high power, your chances of doing some heavy damage are pretty good. This could allow you to pick off a troublesome enemy before the fight even begins. Overall, I think sprinkling in a little bit more stealth elements into Armored Core could be cool for the game, but I don't think it will be a main feature. Perhaps FromSoft is just doing some experimentation, and if the concept of unaware enemies and the larger map design shows to be successful, we can see a follow-up release of Armored Core where stealth is a little bit more important. Then again, we are piloting giant machines of mass destruction after all, and stealth may not exactly be the main focus. But moving into the giveaway details from here, again, I will be giving away a free standard edition copy of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon on the platform of your choice. To enter, simply subscribe to the channel and follow the link in the description to answer a few questions. The giveaway will be held on August 23rd, but if there's enough interest, I may add a second giveaway. But that's going to be it from me. This is GooberTroy saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.